Holy salute to the Holy Club. I was just thinking um, about the great white throne room of judgment and about we're going to give account to everything that we do and we say, uh, you know, against people, um, against God. Everything we do and say and we don't do. When God tells us to do something, He's going to question, why did you not do what I told you to do? And it goes without saying, and it's almost laughable, but there's great resistance right now and misunderstanding happening because of religiousness and because of an open shame as to the prophecies coming forth on this channel. It doesn't matter if you don't like me. It doesn't matter if you don't agree with me. What God says is going to happen, and I can't do nothing about it neither. I do what He tells me to do. I say what He tells me to say. You can agree, disagree. I don't try to serve man, nor do I care what man thinks. I really love you, I do. But above all, I have to do what God tells me to do and say what God tells me to say. And if you don't like that, if you don't agree with it, then that's tough stuff. I'm going to be held accountable for doing things that, to people and hurting people just like you would. And I'm also going to be held accountable if I do something uh, against and hinder a ministry. I'm also going to be held accountable if God tells me to do something or say something and I do not do it. Like if He tells me to pray and I don't pray, or if He tells me to preach in a certain area and I don't preach in the area of the Bible He wants me to preach in. Or if I'm supposed to make a video and a teaching of a certain thing and I don't, He's going to judge me on everything that I do. And He will judge you too. God has a certain way and a certain order that we're all equal, but at the same time, we're not equal. He's using some more than others because others want to be used more than others. And it's up to the person how much they want to be used by God. If the person down here is bashing the person up here being used more than the person down here and coming against it and the work of God, you're going to have to give account for that. If the person up here is causing hindrance to a ministry down here because of the so much work that they're getting, the person up there can't do nothing about that. Ask for more work. 30, 60, 100. You know, people that call themselves Christians and more often than not, they're not Christians, they're goats or religious spirits, hinder the work of God. And the goats cause the real Christians to lose track of what God is trying to do, and they're bucking while somebody's working in the field and plowing. You got a goat over here bucking you as you're trying to plant corn, and they do their job. They do their job. And they don't understand that they're not working for God. They're really not. Long story short, if you like me, if you don't like me, if you approve of me, if you don't approve of me, LOVE. Holy salute to the Holy Club. We ought to obey man. No. We ought to obey me. No. We ought to obey the man on the TV. No. We ought to obey God more than man. Holy salute. I really believe that God is going to expose some things real shortly and some people.